Ladies and gents, welcome to my channel, welcome to Move and Shoot. Today is going to be all about my tactical games loadout for my first time going to the tactical games. I'm going to explain a little bit why I chose each piece of my equipment and what I'm still going to do with it. So my channel is new. If you like the content, if you want to see more, please like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into the equipment. The first piece of equipment I'm going to talk about is going to be my weight vest or my plate carrier. This is actually the plate carrier that I used in Afghanistan in 2013. It's a Loadout Tactic Generation 4 plate carrier. The German Special Forces, the KSK, introduced the Generation 3 plate carrier, I think back in like 2010. So this was like the hype back then. Obviously this is the slick version. I still have almost all the pouches and everything else that I spent a lot of money back in the day. Some of that stuff useful, some of that stuff not so much, but it has served me well. And there's nothing special about this plate carrier. It's like I said, an older generation. It's back from 2013. It was new back then. The one thing that they changed from the Generation 3 was that the cummerbund was elastic band right here. It's already used. I have actually still my soft side armor in it just for a little bit of cushion and weight. The plates I'm running in here are not my standard standalone body armor plates, which are these ones, which I actually repurchased a couple of years ago because the old ones I used were the military, so I had to give it back when I left the armed forces. But this was all my private stuff and it still works fine, so I'm not going to change it. And that's the first piece of kit which I'm going to use. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my range belt as well as my ear protection. I'm using Sportech standard issue ear protection. Nothing special about this. I'm going to go with a double ear protection with insides as well as outside ear protection just because of my military service. I still have a little bit of hearing damage. I only have one ear that's still working correctly, so I'm going to keep that as safe as possible using both inside and outside ear protection. When it comes to the range belt, there are different pieces on here. Some of them I'm going to keep for the tactical games, most of them actually. The only thing I'm going to get rid of is the med pouch, the IFAC. I have multiple brands that are attached to this. The basic package of the range belt is from Black Trident. It's an Austrian firm. It's an Austrian company. It's a pretty good company. It makes high quality stuff, as well as my pistol holster. The pistol holster is a quick attach with a blade tag adapter on it, so I can take this off. I also have a Blackhawk holster as a backup. That's because I don't know if I can use the light attachment on my gun when we go to the tactical games, but I'm going to tell you about that later. But in case I cannot use the light, I need a holster that fits, and this one comes with the light, this one without, and I still had this lying around, so I'm going to use this. Obviously I'm going to lose the leg band then, which I actually don't want to lose, but yeah, in case they don't let me fly with the light attachment, then I'll just use the Blackhawk holster that I got here. The basic setup is as follows. I have two mag pouches from, actually yes, Tasmanian Tiger. Those are the only ones that are from a little bit of a cheaper company. The med pouch, like I said, I'm going to dump. Instead of those, I'm going to put two additional AR-15 magazine pouches right on that spot when I switch away from the tactical setup I have right here. I'm going to keep the dump pouch, which is from Helicon Tex. It's an East European company. I don't know quite which country it's from, but I think it's either Czech Republic or Slovakia or somewhere over there. They make good quality product. Dump pouch is something you can always use, and it doesn't really bother me. Now, if I don't need it, I'm just going to have it rolled up for anything so it doesn't get entangled up and anything like that. My pistol pouches are a mix of Black Trident with the with the angled Kydex variant, and some soft pouches with Kydex inlay, or it's like a clamp that holds them in there so they don't fall out. These are also from not Black Trident, but Loadout Tactic, the same company that makes my vest, which I bought them from back in 2013 prior to my deployment. Actually, it might have been 2012 because you would go into a deployment with stuff you haven't tried out, right? Anyways, that's my range belt setup. Like I said, match part's gonna go. Mag pouches are gonna be reattached for it, because you know, also we have the 10 round magazine limit for AR-15 magazines over here in most European countries, so that's why you're probably going to need a lot of pouches to carry more magazines. Right now I have 5 magazines that I'm going to take with me. I hope that's enough, but we'll see about all that. Already talked about the Blackhawk holster as well as the Black Trident. Eye Pro, I'm just going to wear basic Wiley X eye protection glasses, nothing special. I've noticed that these fog up quite a bit, but I'm going to use some, fog spray, anti-fog spray, and see if that works out. All right, let's get to the interesting part. Starting with my handgun. I run a Glock 17. Why do I run a Glock? I live in Austria. Enough said, right? Now, it's actually a funny reason why I actually have a Glock. I was thinking about a Walther PDP. A buddy of mine had a Walther PDP at home. Liked the trigger, I liked the style. And then another dude that I knew, another very good friend, he said, if you want to learn how to shoot, you need to buy a Glock. It's a standard thing. Everybody has it. Everybody who knows how to shoot a Glock knows how to shoot everything else. Plus, he knew a guy who got it for me relatively cheap. That said, the stuff over here in Europe is still way more expensive than in the US. I paid 600 euros, which is approximately, I would say, like about 680 or 700 bucks, US dollars actually. And I made a couple of mistakes when buying this because it was really cheap. It's a standard Glock 17. It's a Gen 5, but not the MOS system. First mistake. Second mistake, I kept it. What do I mean by that? When I started shooting with it, I learned all the basics. I switched out the standard sights for a couple of True Glows, which worked a little bit better. Then I really got into the whole red dot scene, or I actually just got influenced by the whole red dot scene, and everybody on YouTube was also running a red dot, so I was thinking, what can I do? And another buddy of mine actually told me that you can buy these adapter plates, which slide into where the rear side usually slides into, which means you have to uninstall your rear side. I know it's not a good backup side then anymore if you only have the front side post, but your rear side is missing. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm not going to spend another 300 euros getting this carved out, or to make it wrapped out capable, or yeah, I would just have to sell it and then repurchase an MOS system or maybe a different gun. But there's too much emotional investment right now in this gun. I've installed a Glock Performance Circuit, which I like a lot. Right now I'm running an Olight Bald R laser light module. With it, I have a small mag well on it. Can't remember which company this is from, but the sight I'm running right now is the Holosun H507 Charlie X2, and yeah, this is going to be my go-to weapon for the first time I get into the tactical games, and yeah, let's see how this works out. So let's get to the most interesting part of my equipment, which is going to be my long rifle. The first thing I have to address is, why the hell am I running an LPVO on a 10.5 barrel length? Actually, there's also a funny story about this rifle, how I got it. The same guy who told me to buy a Glock was the guy who wanted to sell his AR platform, and he sold it to me. Now I gotta say that back then, I didn't know I was going to go into the tactical games, and I didn't know what kind of shooting the tactical games had in them. But I thought a 10.5 barrel length with a simple red dot, I think it was an aim point I had on here a while back, is a good solution. Good to get started, good to get shooting. The few times you can shoot an AR-15 on a long range here are limited anyways. Most ranges here are 25 meters, 25 to 50 meters, and that's the longest you can at least go and shoot dynamically. The tactical games also have stages for long shots, for long shooting, up to 500 or 800 yards. But in my scouting of the area where it's going to be in Poland, I found out that the maximum distance they have at their range is 300 meters. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and that's the maximum distance. I'm still running an LPVO on it because we do a lot of bullseye shooting in the tactical games. So even when you're like at 75 meters, 100 meters, which is approximately the same in yards, you still want to be accurate, you still want to call your shots, and you still want to see where your impacts are. And that's all easier to see with the LPVO when you set it to your 6x magnification. So what is this AR-15 platform I'm running right here? It's a German company. It's Overland Arms. They, a few years back, I think somewhere in the 2010s, decided to get into the AR-15 game and actually make quite good quality products with an AR-15. This one didn't have lefty setup because I'm a left-handed shooter with the AR-15 and a right-handed shooter with the gun. It's just because I'm left-eye dominant mostly, and that's why I had to set it up to fit my shooting style a little bit more. The optic I'm running on here, it's a beginner model. It's the first time I'm trying out an LPVO. It's still like 500 US dollars, which this one costs over here, but it's the Vortex Venom 1:6 x 24 with an offset red dot from Hawkeye. That's from Hawk, sorry, not Hawkeye, Hawk. 30-degree offset. I've tried it out a few times. It's a setup that I like, which I can get used to. I'm a little bit more used to shooting the long gun from my military service. However, since I've been shooting more in the last 3 years than I've done in all of my 15 years of military career, I've shot the handgun a lot more, so I've got more comfortable with it, so I still need to do some work with this. All right, what else do I have on here? I set it up, or it was set up when I already bought it with a Trigger Tech single stage trigger. Which I like. It's nice and smooth. I've got an ambidextrous safety button. I've got an ambidextrous magazine release. I've got a Law Tactical foldable stock in the rear. You can fold it, but you cannot shoot it. It's just for storage. It's got a low profile gas block. Also currently running on my tactical setup an Olight Odin. Simple tactical light, but this is going to go off for the tactical games because I want to run it slick. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and I've got a Magpul MOE K2 grip, just because I like it a little bit more. It's got a little bit better of a texture, and it doesn't have this annoying, whatever you call it, finger groove where you always get your knuckle stuck while gripping the gun. The funny thing about this gun is actually when the tactical games came closer and I thought you might as well buy a 14.5, I was trying to sell this one online because in Austria we have a weapons cart that you can in the beginning only have 2 slots for. That's why I have my handgun and my long rifle. Those are my 2 slots, so I have to sell this one to put another one on there. And the issue is that I didn't find any buyers for the price I wanted, so I probably, since it's only 2 weeks until we are going over to Poland, will probably be running with this SBR. But like I said, 300 meters will be the maximum distance in which we have to shoot, and we will see how it works out. This is my setup that I'm going into the tactical games with. I specifically didn't say anything about shoes and clothes and stuff like that. It depends on the weather, it depends on what kind of workouts we have. I'm definitely going to take some running shoes, some functional fitness shoes that are especially good for rope climbing, and maybe also some boots, long pants, short pants, and some gloves. But I don't know if I'm gonna wear those. If you wanna support the channel, spread the word, check out my other videos, and also if you're into the whole training for the tactical games or fitness in general, I also run an online personal coaching business with online programming. You can check that out. The link is below in the description of the video. And I wish you a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.